Okay, hello everybody. I'm not sure that you can see and hear me okay. We'll see who jumps on this live stream. First of all, my name is Elaine. I'm the Animal Reiki Lady. I do lots of videos. I love to do videos. I've done tons of live streams on Facebook and Instagram. This really seems dark, so you guys will have to let me know if it's too dark. I'm not in my normal habitat because this is just a test. So we'll see how long we go. And I've notified some folks. It looks like there's 2 people viewing. I can't see chats. I'm not used to doing live streams on YouTube. So we're just going to play with it. That's what tonight is for. I want to start beginning January 15th, next Monday. I want to start formal live streams because I love just talking. I love talking without a script. I love being able to share the thoughts that come through to me from the animals that I work with and from the Animal Collective. I'll tell you about those in just a minute. But this really is dark. So I don't know where to see chats. And hi, guys. And I got a thumbs up. So if you can comment in the chat, if you're comfortable doing that, please let me know that you can see and hear me okay. This is just going to be like a pre-welcome to the formal live stream that starts next week. And I'll tell you, look, we're going to share some information tonight. I'm going to share with you some things that animals want me to share with you. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself. But I can't see anything coming through in a chat. On the other platforms, I'm really used to seeing things. I love to do my classes in Zoom, and I get to see a lot of the comments easily. So let's just see. Participants. Oh, look, I can get a list of participants. Sherry. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Thanks for joining me. And can you just let me know, and I won't call anybody's name out if you really don't want me to, but I would love to. This is just right now, like I did not put this out to the general public. If any of my audience on YouTube happens to catch this, it will most likely be on the replay. So I would love to know and Teresa, how are you? Good to see you too. I'm just really curious about the lighting. So I can't really see, it looks super dark to me. Not much I can do about it at this point since I've already gone live. But I would also love to know if you guys can hear me okay as well. So this, as I started to say, is more of a pre-welcome. I want to test the platform. I have had a couple false starts doing YouTube lives before, and I think primarily had to do with audience size. You have to have a certain size, a certain amount, a number of followers, a number of subscribers. But now I think I've hit that threshold. So we can go forward with live streams. And I love to do lives. I've done plenty of lives on Facebook and Instagram, but this is really my first formal one when it comes to YouTube. So hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. It is so good to see you. Okay, so I jumped on a couple minutes early just to make sure. I always have water handy with me. I wish there was something more I could do about the lighting, but I'm just going to get over that for right now. I always have water with me because it's dry here in Colorado where I am. I get thirsty, so I just like to make sure that I'm always staying hydrated. Okay, let's just start to talk a little bit about myself and this channel and the reason why I started this channel. I started the channel a couple of years ago just as a way of starting to share information about animal Reiki, and it seemed to take on a life of its own. It started to evolve to mostly be focused on helping people manage through and cope with the loss of a pet and the loss of an animal companion. I'm going to use both of those words interchangeably. I know there are some folks who struggle with the word pet. It indicates and pet owners and pet ownership and that kind of thing. I love to think of it more as companionship, that our animals share our lives with us. But for ease, I'll be using both terms. So a little bit about me. I call myself the Animal Reiki Lady. I came up through corporate America. I spent 35 years in corporate. I did all kinds of everything, operations, marketing, customer service. And in the end, I focused on human resources. I was a human resources executive for the past 15 years. I left that job back in 2018 to do this full time, to just live my life with animals full time. I hit a point where I could no longer tolerate what wasn't really lighting up my soul. And working with animals is what lights my soul. So I am an Animal Reiki Master. I learned Reiki as a way to help manage my own stress and as a way to help a family member who was going through a very serious chronic illness. And what I learned when I started practicing Reiki was how to release my own stress, how to quiet my mind, how to really organize my own energy, how to stay balanced, how to stay harmonized. And that really, when I realized I had to start working with animals, it was the animals who showed me more than anything else that we humans need to learn how to heal ourselves. And there's so many there are so many stressors in our lives, and there's so much that we go through, and our animals share in that stress. Our animals are so sensitive to our state of mind, and that's where Animal Reiki came in. And then with Animal Reiki came this unexpected connection to animals on the other side of life. My Lucy, a black lab, crossed in August of 2020. And not 10 days later, my soul dog, Winston, crossed on his own. Lucy had an assisted crossing, and Winston crossed on his own. So when I start to share some of the information that I have that has come to me from animals from all over, and now I've worked with hundreds of animals now at end of life, I understand exactly. I understand what it means to make a decision to assist your animal when they cross. I understand when an animal chooses to go on their own. I've even experienced when animals cross in the most unexpected ways. And I'll share stories about all of them. This is all going to be about telling stories, sharing stories. I will also be doing some channeling. So I do something that I call channeling. All of the animals that I have worked with, they have formed this beautiful collection that I call the Animal Collective. They come together and they share information with me. I do meditation, and in my meditation, I receive messages, and they're messages of love and hope and calm and messages of healing and peace. And that, more than anything, is what our animal companions want to share with us. So I'll be sharing those messages. I will also be doing the readings I've been doing all this time. So over the past year, I committed to doing 100. I don't think I've hit 100 yet because I stop and start. It comes and goes because other things. I had the birth of a grandchild. There's all kinds of things that I have a life just like everybody else. I'm a human being just like everyone else. And every once in a while, life kind of gets in the way. But anyhow, what I did was commit to doing 100 readings for people. Hi everybody, little readings for your pets. So for your animals who have crossed to the other side, I try to get information specifically for you to help you heal from that loss. I will continue doing that. It's going to be every Monday night going forward. I'm committed to doing this. At this point, I've probably got 25 or 30 people that are waiting for readings. So I will move forward with those and do at least one and maybe more. We're going to see how this goes. I love to be unscripted. I made myself a couple notes tonight. And for those of you who follow me on my other social media platforms, you know that I do automatic writing. And automatic writing is where this is getting darker and darker, guys. I'm so sorry. Next time, I promise to have better lighting. I feel like I look like a ghost now, a specter here. Anyhow, I do automatic writing. And automatic writing is where I ask for messages from animals on the other side of life. And as I receive those messages, I write it all down, and I write them down unfiltered. Unfiltered, I trust everything that comes through. I really learn to trust in my automatic writing, and that's the messages that I share with you guys. So I have previously done this not live. I always do it recorded. So I'll do the automatic writing, and then I will read what I received for either the person who I'm channeling or messages from the Animal Collective. But now that for this time going forward, I will have a little bit better setup next time. I'm also dog sitting. So, oh my gosh, look at all the people jumping on. It is so good to see you guys. Thank you for joining my little pre-welcome. Really what I'm doing is just trying to test the waters here, making sure that I could use YouTube, making sure I knew how to make it go live and that you can see and hear me okay. You can't see me okay because I look like a ghost, but you can hear me okay, hopefully. And I don't see, let me go back and see if I see any comments. Let's see if I've got no chats. So that's okay. It's totally good. It says that all messages are visible. Yeah, oh my gosh, they all just came jumping on. Hang on. Let me go through some of these. Let me go through some of this for you. Teresa says it's freezing. Possible because of where I am. I am in I'm house sitting and dog sitting. And so the internet may not be all that good. I'm getting love hearts. Yay. Thank you. Great practice. I need to get back into it. I'm assuming that you're talking about Reiki, which, yes, Reiki, I will be talking about in these live streams. We'll be going through all kinds of things. I'll talk about Reiki because I want to share techniques with people. I want to share tips and tricks with how you can help yourself balance, how you can release some stress. More importantly, how you can let go of grief and guilt and remorse and all those things that get us all tied up, especially when it comes to our animals crossing to the other side. We are often wrapped up in guilt. There's something that we think we should have done, could have done, would have done differently, would have done better. We're going to talk about all of those things because I am a firm believer that our animal companions are sentient beings. That means they have a soul. It means that they have preferences and choices. And that includes, boy, I'm just going to throw this out there for right now. We can talk about it more in future videos because this is just meant to be like a little teaser. It includes how they cross to the other side. And it includes that there is not sometimes we think that they're experiencing trauma and there is no trauma. So we'll talk more and more about that as the weeks go on. So let me just see. So I'm saying hi to Teresa. Sorry about the freezing. Saying hello to Brandy Alex, to Lori, to Kimberly. You are so welcome. I can't even explain to you why I started to do this. I became an Animal Reiki Master. I started working with animals here, and I still do, animals here on this physical planet Earth. I work with a sanctuary here in Colorado. I work with a sanctuary down in Florida. I hold classes. I do classes on Zoom. I do classes in person. I have a Facebook page, an Instagram page. I love sharing as much as I possibly can, and I don't know where it came from. One day I woke up in my corporate job and said, I just can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And when I told my boss in my corporate office what my plans were, he was like, I'm sorry, you're going to do what? And that's how the name the Animal Reiki Lady came about, because I was the HR lady. And one of my friends at work said, well, that's okay. We're just going to start calling you the Animal Reiki Lady. And it really just stuck. And it's gone from there. Oh, Brandy, I'm so happy that you brought up signs. We are going to talk about signs. It is one of my favorite things to talk about. And this is why I love to live stream, because my mind just goes from one topic to the next. And I love to know what people are interested in. And I see Lori saying she's a vet tech, retired years ago, has a pet sitting business. That's I don't even know where the pet sitting came from. I don't know where any of this came from except the universe and the animals on the other side and the animals here who realized that through me, they could have a voice. And that's why I started. And through me, not me, through me, I can help people heal. I can help people overcome this fear, this fear of death, this fear that once our animals have crossed, that there's nothing, because what that means is that we fear that once we cross, there's nothing. And I have been shown time and time and time again that there is so much more to this life. So yeah, I kind of got sidetracked there reading that. Hi, Tracy, how are you? Oh my gosh, I see some of my students here. It's great to see you guys. Okay, so you can see that I kind of go off track. In the future, I will be trying to stick to a topic each and every week, but I love to go with the flow. So I've made myself some notes here. I just want to make sure that I talk to everything I want to talk about. All right, so the real kickoff is January 15th. If you are interested in a reading for your pet, I'm going to try to take them in order. Sometimes pets come through to me unexpectedly, like Beardy. So if Beardy's mama catches this live stream on the replay, they come through to me unexpectedly. Beardy was while I was riding on a train. And some of the things that came through from Beardy that were so true. So when I do these readings, I should talk about this. When I do readings for you guys, you can request a reading through email, and it's read for my pet, READ, the number 4, my pet @gmail.com. I also have that link posted in the description of my YouTube channel. So you can request a reading there. When I do these readings, what I try to do is ask for a piece of evidence. I try to get something specifically from them that will let you know that it's them that's coming through. Most of the time, I get messages of healing that are meant for everybody, and those are the messages I receive from the Animal Collective. But I try to give you something specific so that you can experience healing from the grief and a knowledge that there's an afterlife, that there is something beyond this physical earth right here. I like to share the analogy, I've shared this many times, of water. Water can be frozen. We can have ice cubes. Water can be just plain old water that we drink from a glass. We can boil it, it becomes steam. There's rain, there's snow, there's rivers, there's oceans. Water takes so many forms. I'm feeling more and more that there's a message about water that I'm not quite getting yet, but neither here nor there. Just like that, energy can never be created or destroyed. It just takes different forms. And our animals come here for a short period of time. I'm certain because they are here to support us in some way, whether it's to teach us something or to help us in some way, or we'll talk more and more about that as well. But they're here for such a short period of time in their physical bodies. And when they leave their body, their energy simply shifts to a different place. And we may still access that energy. The tips and tricks that I share on this channel are meant to help you shift your own frequency and vibration to one that is not so dense that they can't get through, but to one that is open and expansive so that your hearts can join and you'll know that they're still with us. Oh my gosh, thank you guys all for joining me. I have to say that I was not sure what to expect. I thought I was going to get a big goose egg, 0. And I've started so many things from 0, so I wasn't worried about that. But I'm so happy to see you guys all here. So I'm taking a minute to look at comments again. Peekapoo called him Beardo sometimes. Isn't that funny? These kind of funny coincidences, synchronicities, or co-incidents, they crop up all the time. One of the things that happens as one of the things that happens as I do these readings is that sometimes different animals come through. It's been quite a while now since I've done a reading for Milo, but as I was doing a reading for Milo, who I thought was Milo, Milo's human said, I'm sorry, none of what you're saying resonates with me. And not 10 seconds later, somebody else reached out to me to say, that was my Milo. Every single thing you said about Milo was my Milo. So that's how it works sometimes. It's not a perfect thing. And I'm still learning. I'm still, like, as I said, I just started doing this in August of 2020 when Lucy crossed is when that door opened. She came to me in a dream, so clear and vivid. You can't see it, but I had to have her tattooed on my arm. She came through to me so clear and so vividly that I knew it was her. And then I started to, as my other animals have crossed, when Winston crossed, when Jack crossed, I started to get signs. There we go. We're back to signs again. It all comes back full circle. I started to get signs, and that's when I knew I had to be able to help other people receive signs from their animals so that you know that there's an afterlife. Okay, so let's see. Let me look at these things. Emailed a while back. Should I do it again? Tracy, I'll find it. Now I have all the emails. If you emailed and read for my pet to that email address, I'll go back and find it for you. And Kimberly says, yes, she'll have a reading from Toby. Water is good for so many things. There's a little meditation, and I'm going to share these as part of the tips and tricks or whatever, part of the little practices that I am going to share with you to help you make connections with your animals. One of them is water. It's called the healing pond, and I take you in a little visualization where you're sitting at the edge of a beautiful pond and your animal companion is on the other side of the pond. For some of us, the reason that we can't connect is because it's hard for us to believe that we can connect. It's hard for us to actually make that leap of faith. And so the water in the pond that we visualize kind of bridges that gap. So I ask you to reach your hand down and you touch the water in the visualization, and then imagine your animal companion reaching their little paw or their mouth or whatever to the water, and you can share the connection that way. Okay, Beardo or Beardy. Yeah, those are the synchronicities that there's no, you just can't make this stuff up. Okay, so let me go back to my notes here real quick to make sure I'm getting everything through that I want to talk about. Lucy crossed in August of 2020. She opened the door for me. Not 10 days later, Winston crossed on his own. I had started out talking a little bit about that because I want you to know that I feel what you feel. Lucy assisted. Winston on his own, two pets crossing within barely just a little bit more than a week of each other. I was devastated. Um, but they showed me how to work through that devastation. I remember, it still makes me cry. See, I cry just like you guys. It's okay to grieve. I still miss them so much, even though I get the messages from them, but I don't hold myself in remorse or guilt any longer. I've learned to let go of the guilt. I can go back to all of the animals who I've ever shared my life. There's always something I would have done differently. And now I let that go because I know that they are in a beautiful space where they still connect with me in the most beautiful way. Okay, so anyhow, that's what I wanted to share about that. And then Jack, the last one to cross for me was Jack. Jack crossed in December 1st of 2021. I had seniors, so I knew what to expect because all three of my dogs were seniors, and I knew that they would cross in a fairly close time frame. So I understand exactly what that means too. My dogs, several of them have also been special needs. Winston was deaf, had a heart murmur, and congestive heart failure. Gypsy, who is my current dog, Gypsy is blind. Gypsy has no eyes. So she's not just blind because she's a black little terrier, and people will say, "Oh, well, maybe maybe some because she can see so well. She can see so clearly. People don't know that she's blind, and they'll say to me, perhaps a little bit of light is getting through, except for the fact that she physically has no eyes. So how she sees is not explainable. There's no way to explain that she goes up and down stairs. She manages the dog park. She works through, can maneuver through furniture. I take her to different homes. She takes a moment or two to get her bearings. But how does she see the way that she sees? I'm just going to look. All right. I think I'm all caught up with comments. Okay. So let's see. What else? For this live stream, the way that I picture it is I will have messages to share from the animal collective. I've worked with so many animals now who have transitioned to the other side. I'll be sharing messages of hope and healing and peace and release from the grief. I'll be sharing those messages. I'll be sharing a channeled message from at least one of your pets every single week. I'm happy to do any kind of questions and answers. If you want to send me questions outside, if you're not comfortable like commenting in the chat, which is fine, you can always send me through email a question that you might want to ask, and I'll be happy to respond to those questions. I'll be happy to respond to them right here. So questions and answers that come up as the live stream goes on. I plan to let this type of live stream evolve over time, just like the channel has. I mentioned that I started and stopped a couple of times. Hi, Kimmy Cat, your first time here? My first live stream. So we're doing good. Welcome. Where was I? Somebody remind me where I was. Oh, we're going to let this evolve over time, just like the channel has evolved over time. I am going to see where this leads, what kind of messages we have. But my goal is to help you heal, to help us heal, to help raise the vibration of even of our planet, just in whatever small way that I possibly can, to help lift us up a little bit more so that we can just have a little bit higher frequency, that we can heal, that we can help overcome our fear. I really, really want to overcome this human fear of death, this human fear of heaven and hell. And I call myself a recovering Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I've learned some beautiful things, but there are some things that definitely I needed to let go. And one of them was this fear of being punished in eternal damnation. I love to, I use the analogy that there's nothing that I can think of that my children could do where I would damn them forever. And so just to overcome this fear of death, and our animals have shown me that the other side is beautiful, that the other side is amazing and miraculous. And I can't wait to share some of that more with you. And I don't want to go too far down that right now. I love to go with the flow. I will use automatic writing on occasion. I ask, I listen, I share, and that's why I keep checking the comments. Excited. All right. And I guess really, I know I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just going to admit this, that channeling live is scary to me. This doesn't scare me. Like I can talk on a video for hours if you let me. I don't mind that at all. But channeling live is a little bit, it scares me a little bit. And I think that I've let go of judgment from others. Believe me, I've gotten some comments on this channel that you would not believe. I used to delete them. Now I just leave them because you guys are so cool at monitoring and policing the whole thing and letting me know when somebody has something really bad to say. I mean, I've been told that I'm full of, SH. It doesn't matter. I don't let that faze me, but channeling live, it still scares me a little bit, but we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I'm looking at a couple more comments. Magdalena is saying hi, stumbled upon the live stream in the middle of the night in Sweden. Well, thank you for joining me. It is so nice to be here. I did do a channeled reading for an animal, I want to say from Sweden. And I butchered the name horribly. And so whoever that is who might be catching this, I apologize because I ended up butchering the name. I didn't know. It was a Swedish name and I didn't know how to pronounce it. And Kimmy Cat says she's got faith. And Lori says, I get it. I think that's what stops us from growing. Kenny, hey, bud, good to see you. I love, there are some people, the only place I announced this live stream was in my community on Facebook. So it's really cool that it's getting out there to other people, that new people are jumping on, that we're reaching as far away as Sweden, and that some of my existing students are here. So the last thing before I do this reading, and I'm going to do a channeled reading, is to let you know that I do have, the more you follow me, and if you find yourself getting interested in learning some of the things I talk about, I teach. I teach classes in person. I teach classes on Zoom. I have a class that I try to make it so that there's something for everybody in all time zones. We practice all kinds of psychic stuff. We talk about mediumship. We talk about channeling. It's more than just animal Reiki, although I teach that primarily. So if you guys, I'll always post about some of those opportunities that come up. And if you ever want to meet in person, the next one is going to be at the Sanctuary in Florida. It'll be the last weekend of February, and I'll be happy to share details if anybody wants to come learn animal Reiki and animal communication in person. All right, but that's not what this is all about. I'm going to check out the comments one last time before we do a reading, and I'm going to do a reading for if any. One of you guys wants a reading tonight? If anybody who's on this live stream would like me to do a reading, I'm going to do a reading for you. Otherwise, we can do a reading for Hunter. Hunter is a dog who crossed in this house where I'm dog sitting right now. Hunter was one of my Reiki clients. I would come here to share Reiki with him at end of life to help ease some of the arthritic pain he was going through. He was going through a lot of confusion as well. Otherwise, let's see. Ignore the haters. Oh, you know what, Brandy? I ignore the haters. It's true. And I'm just like, one day you're going to be so surprised when you make it to heaven and you find your animal companion there. And what a beautiful surprise it'll be for you. Love to all of our animals here and at the Rainbow Bridge. Okay. Kimmy Cat says, yes. Teresa says, how that's funny. Recovering Catholic. Recovering Catholic. That's it. All right. If someone would post the name of their animal companion for me in the comments. I hope it's looking great. I feel like it's so dark here. But it's not my normal setup. When I have my little studio at home, and I'm not at home. Bailey. Okay, so Kimmy Cat is saying Bailey. Rebecca, hi from Minnesota. Okay, all right, so we're good. Bailey, Junior, and Nikita. Let's start with Bailey. It's okay. And if I don't get to them all this evening, because now I see a whole bunch of, don't worry, I will absolutely. The first one is going to be Bailey. Kimmy Cat, can you tell me if Bailey is a dog or a cat? And it doesn't matter the species, dog, cat, horse, guinea pig, snake, bearded dragon. I've done them all. And Kimmy Cat says a dog. Okay. So we're going to start with Bailey the dog. And I normally would do this with a picture. So Kimmy Cat, all I need to know is if Bailey is a boy or a girl and what kind of dog Bailey is. And I will absolutely, even if I don't get to do Junior and Nikita tonight, because I'm going to keep an eye on it. Well, I think we have plenty of time though. It doesn't take a lot of time. Like I don't have to go into a trance. I will go quiet for a moment and ask, because I ask for one thing. I ask for, what is a yellow rose? Okay, so yellow rose pops right into my right, and that's kind of how I go with it. So the thought of yellow rose popped into my mind. So either one of you is thinking of a yellow rose, or there's something that has a yellow rose to do with Bailey. If you could let me know what, all I see is dog. Okay, that's okay. All right, so for Bailey, what I try to do is ask for a specific piece of information, something for Kimmy Cat, something for your human mama that will let her know, Bailey, that it's you that's coming through. And I'm just getting a little scene in my mind that the first thing that came through was that yellow rose. I'm trying to just relax through this. And I'm keeping my eyes closed because then I don't have to look at comments. I don't have to see anything else but go inside and ask Bailey to join me. And I'm getting a sense of tears. I don't know how Bailey crossed. I don't often get like this level of emotion when I do a reading. It's usually very calm and very peaceful. I do see a beach and the ocean, and running along the beach, and I see birds. The sun is shining. I can hear the birds. I can hear the seagulls. A hose, something about a hose is coming through for Bailey. Something very soft. Now there's a really soft sensation where you're holding her soft in a blanket. That's the kind of thing that comes through for me. And what does Bailey want you to know? Bailey wants you to know what every animal wants us to know. It's always okay. It's always all right. I'm just taking a nice deep breath. Bailey wants you to know that everything. I'm just trying not to, there's a lot of clutter going on right now. It's okay. It's all okay. So this is good practice for me, because every single one of your animals is standing here right now. I can feel them all so happy and so eager to connect that it's like, if you've ever seen, I've used this analogy before, if you've ever seen the movie Ghost, where Whoopi Goldberg kind of sits in the chair and she's surrounded by all these people, and you think that they're all her clients when really they're all the spirits. That's kind of what I feel right now, and it's a little overwhelming, so it's okay. It's all good. We're just going to be quiet, and I'm asking Bailey to step forward. Bailey is wagging her tail. Did Bailey have just a... She was my baby, and yes, I was holding her in a blanket. Okay. And I'm going to... So this is a really good learning experience for me, because seeing all the comments is what kind of brings this all... It all comes forward, and this is one of the reasons why I want to do this. We are so in need of this connection. I know from Lucy, I know how much we want to connect. I wanted to connect with her so much that night as I fell asleep, and I literally begged her to come through in my dreams. And that's how it all started. So Kimmy, I hope it's okay that I call you Kimmy. I'm trying not to look at the comments. What does Bailey want you to know? Bailey wants you to know what every single animal wants us to know from the other side, that everything is okay, that she is safe, that she is loved, that she loves you, that she is by your side. There's a message that comes through a lot for different people, and this is coming through for you, Kimmy, and because I don't know you, and sometimes it makes it easier when I don't know the people who I'm connecting with, because then there's no like preconceived notion. There is something that you have been wanting to do for a very, very long time that you have been holding yourself back from doing. And this comes through a lot because our animals want to tell us all the time, stop holding ourselves back. If there is something you want to do They know exactly how short life is. One day for them is like what? A week for us, a month for us. So they have to live their life as if it was the very last day every single day because they know how short their lives are. So they live to their fullest. And Kimmy, you're being told to go live to your fullest. What is that? I'm sorry, I'm looking to see if there's any other comments from Kimmy Cash. She says yes. So don't worry, you don't have to share. Nobody has to share anything personal. If there's something that you've been meaning to do that you have been putting off doing, that's what Bailey wants you to do. And now I'm going to share with you just a message from the Animal Collective. Haley, hi Jane, how are you? Good to see you too. Healing, I'm looking into becoming a healer. Just lost your partner 10 months ago. Okay. Part of why I do this is I never intended to become a healer. And there are terms that we throw around the spiritual community all the time, like light worker and spiritual healer and healer. It's where Reiki, it's the road that Reiki took me down, even though I never intended to become a healer, quote unquote, my little air quotes there. Okay, hang on a second. I just have to reground myself. Sherry says she gets signs, but no messages. We'll do that going forward if you guys are interested in that. If you're interested in learning how to use automatic writing to receive actual messages from your animals, I'm happy to do that for you. I'm just regrounding myself for a minute, going back to being quiet. I would like to give you a message from the Animal Collective. And I need to let that come through. And then I'll do one more reading. Guys, I don't think I can scroll back up through the comments. So what I'll do is, I thought that I could like go back and see some of the animal companions' names, and I can't see them. So from the good learning experience for me, good learning experience. That's why this is like the little test video from the Animal Collective. The Animal Collective is a group of animals on the other side of life. They are the ones who you folks have shared with me. I've done, as I mentioned, many readings so far. I don't even know how many, 30, 40. And then the animals who I work with in my Reiki practice are primarily animals at end of life, and like Hunter. And there's something so perfect. And maybe, Kimmy, this is why you're crying. Is it the loss of your partner? I'm not sure, but I had an intense sense of emotion. Like if I could have just like bawled, I would have right then. But from the Animal Collective, they're telling me that they have already shared something really important, and that's about fear. Fear holds us back so many times. Our animals are actually fearless. And sometimes the only reasons that our animals show us fear and anxiety is because it's something that they've learned from us. And they've come to mirror to us how to let go of that. That's it. That's what the message is coming through. They have come to mirror to us, to show us through their own behaviors and actions how we can help ourselves overcome fear. Fear holds us back from so many things. Fear holds us back from taking first steps. Fear holds us back from changing our lives. We are afraid of being judged. We are afraid of everything. We're afraid of loss. We're afraid of loss of friends, loss of family. We're afraid that people will call us crazy. I know that one. We are afraid we let fear get in the, and we make, I'm trying to get this to come through a little clearer. We make too many decisions based in fear. It is time to stop making decisions based in fear and instead make our decisions based in love. So when we recognize that there is fear, recognize that the thing that is stopping us is a fear, then ask for that to be transmuted. Ask for our animal companions on the other side to help us open our heart so that we can make a decision from a place of love and not from a place of fear. And they will help us. They are meant to help us. They are here to guide us. Even though they're spirits and souls on the other side of life, they still can help us. So ask for their help, ask them to show us the way through fear, and ask them to help us make decisions based on love. And then the decision that we make will be so much more fulfilling. Okay. All right, so let's thank you guys. Nikita, Junior, Toby. Hang on, let me write this down. Nikita, Junior, Toby. Okay, the one who's coming through for me loud and clear right now is Toby. I'm just going to catch up with the comments real quick. It's been a hard 10 months. Yes, it's accurate, spot on. Been slowing down spiritually before I make a decision. Okay, so right now we're going to do Junior. After this live stream is over, I can go back through the comments and I'll be able to do some readings for some of the other animals. This has been a beautiful learning experience for me, and I thank you guys for sharing this with me, because I understand now exactly what needs to be done. Before I did this live stream, I wasn't sure what I should do. I wasn't sure how it should go, how it should be organized. But when I see so many beautiful people coming through requesting readings from their animals, I understand how important it is. Lori, Husky, let me go back to Lori. Oh, Nikita. You know what? I knew right away, and it could have been from the name. So maybe it's Nikita and Junior that I have to do now, because Junior, Kenny, I honestly forget who, if Junior is a dog, or a cat. So if you could remind me of that, because I'm getting the two of these together. So Nikita and Junior. So I'm going to ask if Junior will please wait for me. I don't know why I just did this. Why did I just do this? Is that something to do with Nikita? Is it Nikita or Junior? Something. I'm just getting this sense of that's how you expressed affection to their animal. But Nikita, right away, what's going on with the throat? Sometimes I will get these feelings, like physical sensations, not often, but every once in a while. I will get a physical sensation, and okay, so I'm getting the two of them together, and we're just going to have to go with it. I'm not going to fight it. Junior, Kenny, Junior is with you all the time. Junior never, ever, ever turns away. You should be able to feel Junior every single time that you even call Junior's name. I know this right away, that Junior's right there. You never, ever, ever have to worry about that. And Kenny, this is a little hard for me because I know you. Kenny and I have met in person, and so I know some of the messages that Junior wants to send, and I think that it needs to be a private message, that maybe I'll do a private reading for you, because I don't want to share anything out of turn in a public forum. But this, the rubbing the face, I got that so clearly. So I'm so glad about that. Hi, Julie, how you doing? Let me see what I can get. A Maltese. Okay, so a Maltese dog was our little Junior. I think I've even seen a picture of Junior before, so I have more information than I normally would have. She didn't talk much anymore. Is that what was? So this whole thing. This is also, thank you guys for helping me through this, because I understand now what I need to do. When I look at the comments, I try, why I would do this before with automatic writing and then share the information, is because then there was no bias. I didn't get any indication from who I was working with that would lead me down a road to saying information. I prefer to take information directly from the animals as it comes through to me. So Nikita was giving me actually this whole thing. So I mentioned that they give me a lot of physical things. So for Junior, I just had this sense of the face rub. Nikita is giving me a sense of physical. There was something going on. Even if it was diabetic, there was something else going on all through the whole intestinal tract I'm getting. And then this thing with the throat, that she didn't talk much anymore. I wonder if there was not something else that might have come to me without looking at the comments. but I have a sense that there was something else going on that perhaps you didn't know about that caused her to lose her voice. But here's what's coming through right now. Nikita, her voice, she sings better than she ever sang before. I understand the song of her people. She sings the song of her people more clearly now than she ever has before. And that is the sign she sends you, Lori. She sends you that song when you least expect it. She had a very specific way, just as they do. She had a very specific way, and you will hear that sound, whether it is in a dream or right now. You are probably hearing that sound. You can hear it so clearly in your mind what her voice was like, and it is so clear. She wants you to know that on the other side of life, she sings the song of her people like she never has sang before. And Junior had throat stuff too. Oh my gosh, Kenny, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You are helping me learn as much as I hopefully am helping you make these connections. When these things come through, as I mentioned, I felt Nikita and Junior both at the same time. So how curious that that Junior also had something going on with his throat. Okay, and so did Hershey. Oh my gosh, this is. I love doing this just for the experience myself, for being able to validate for myself the information that comes through from our animal companions. Now, here's the other thing about live streams. You guys got to give me 10 seconds here because the dog that I'm house sitting has wanted to be outside all day until right now. So very much. Hang on. Come on, Cosmo. Come on in. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm not in a place where you can see Cosmo. I don't think come here, Cosmo. You want to jump up? Come here. Come here. There we go. That's Cosmo. Say hello, Cosmo. Kisses. Thank you. All right. Okay, guys. And all of a sudden, there's a whole lot of light on the subject now that wasn't here before. Ta-da, Cosmo, you lit the place up, bud. Okay. I think this is going to wrap it up for this evening. I promise that I will do readings for everybody. I can do this myself. I just need confirmation. Oh, Lori, thank you. Last way that I'm going to close this live stream, and this is going to come up time and again as well. I can't believe there's 20 of you guys watching. This is awesome. Everybody has the ability to do this. And there goes the light again. I wonder what's going on with that. Everybody has the ability to do this. I have been practicing this because I want this gift to be, it's not just a gift that's for the lucky few. We all have the ability to do this. We've just never been taught how to do it. And I think as we let go of some of the grief and some of the guilt and start to receive messages and signs from our animal companions, that's how we start to know that we can do this. Everybody can make these connections, not just with animals. We can make this connection with people as well. It's one of the things that I teach as part of the mediumship component to my classes. But we all have the ability to do this. We all have these extra sensory abilities. They are senses beyond just our physical senses. And I hopefully will be able to teach you and show you how to do this as time goes on, and to trust that you can do it, to trust that the messages coming through, like I've got books and books and books of automatic writing. Trust that you can do it. And you struggle with readings. Kimmy, I just struggled through all of those readings. And I try not to use the word struggle too much. I learned, the animals taught me something tonight as we were doing these readings. We can all do this. Turn your light on within ourselves. There you go. Let's turn on the light. I don't know why the light keeps going dark and light, but there you have it. It has. Okay. I think that is it for tonight. And I'm just going to check one last thing. Any last comments? All right, guys. I thank you so much for sharing your animals for me, for sharing your time with me, for helping me get really comfortable with these live streams. And I will see you guys again next week. Same time, same place. And thank you for joining me from Sweden, Montana, wherever you are from, all the places that you guys are from, Oklahoma, Florida. I'm trying to think of all the states that I know you guys are from. It was great to see you, and I will see you again next time. And until then, may animals light your way. Take care.